All right, we're about to begin our section 4.1 review video. So that's chapter 4, section 1. And as always, whenever we start a video, we always start with the learning target. And the learning target for today is to express ratios as fractions in simplest form and determine what unit rate is. Well, let's do our definitions that we've got here. The first one we're going to do is, what is a ratio? A ratio is a comparison of two numbers using division, and a rate is a ratio of two measurements having different units. So let's get our last term here for today. And a unit rate is a rate with a denominator of 1. Well, let's jump right in and do some example problems. Express 12 blue marbles out of 18 marbles in simplest form. So 12 out of 18, 12 out of 18, 12 blue marbles out of 18 marbles in general. Well, I need to reduce this. I can reduce, first of all, my units, and I can divide the numerator by 6, and I can divide the denominator by 6, and that would give me 2 out of 3. So the ratio is 2 to 3, or 2 out of 3 marbles are blue, or it could be written as 2 to 3. Please do the same thing with the next problem here. Express 5 blue marbles out of 20 marbles in simplest form. Pause the video, do that, and then come back and check your work. Well, I've got 5 blue marbles out of 20 marbles. So 5 to 20. The marbles, of course, the unit marbles cancel out. I can reduce the numerator by dividing by 5, and I can divide the denominator by 5, and I will get 1 out of 4 marbles are blue, or a 1 to 4 ratio. Express 10 inches to 2 feet in simplest form. 10 inches to 2 feet. Well, I can't compare across different units here, so I need to change this 2 feet into inches. To do that, I'm going to say in 1 foot, there is 12 inches. By doing that, I can get feet to cancel out, and I'm left with 10 times 1 is 10 in the numerator, and 2 times 12, which would be 24 in the denominator. So I've got a 10 to 24 ratio. I need to reduce that. I can divide both sides, both the numerator and the denominator, by 2, and I will get 5 to 12 is my ratio. Can also be written as 5 to 12, like that. Please do the second problem here. Pause the video, complete that problem, make sure that you've got your understanding, then come back and check with me. I've got 14 inches over 2 feet. I need to get rid of the units feet here so that we have both inches and inches. So I'm going to say in 1 foot, there is 12 inches. My feet cancel out. And I've got 14 times 1 is equal to 14. And then I've got 2 times 12, which of course is equal to 24. So I've got 14 out of 24. As I look to reduce that to its simplest form, I can divide both numerator and denominator by 2, which would give me a 7 to 12 ratio. Can also be written as 7 to 12. Here's another problem. Cindy reads 141 pages in 3 hours. How many pages does she read per hour? Find the unit rate. The unit rate, of course, is if she did it in 1 hour. How much would she read in 1 hour? So I've got a ratio here of 141 pages in 3 hours, and I need to write that into having a denominator of 1 hour. 1 hour. So I need to divide both the numerator and the denominator by 3, so I can keep the ratio the same. Whatever I do to the numerator, I have to do the denominator. Of course, 3 hours divided by 3 is a 1 hour. And 141, I'm going to jump into my calculator here. 141 divided by 3 hours would tell me 47 pages per hour. 47 pages per hour. So that's her rate, unit rate. On a trip from Columbus, Ohio to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Lee drove 864 miles. in 14 hours, what was Lee's average speed in miles per hour? So I say 864 miles in 14 hours. I'm actually going to do the division here. I'm going to divide both sides by 14 because I want to get a denominator of 1 hour so I can know what its unit rate is. And I'm going to do that with my calculator. It's 864 divided by 14 hours, and I get 61.7 miles per hour. Miles per hour is the unit rate for that problem. Alex spends $12.50 for 2 pounds of almonds and $23.85 for 5 pounds of jelly beans. Which item costs less per pound? Well, I'm going to set up the ratio here that says $12.50 for 2 pounds of almonds, and I'm going to compare that to the ratio for the cost for the jelly beans of $23.85 for the jelly beans, and that's per 5 pounds. All right, so I'm going to reduce each of these to their unit ratio. $12.50 divided by 2 would give me a unit ratio of $6.25 per 1 pound of almonds. And if I do that for the jelly beans, I need to take $23.85 divided by 5. And that comes out to be $4.77 per 1 pound of jelly beans. Well, if I compare these two numbers, $6.25 per pound for the almonds, $4.77 per pound. The $4.77 per pound is less, so it costs less to buy a pound of jelly beans than it costs to buy a pound of almonds. Thank you.